how to transcend your man's commitment objections for the dream love relationship you desire and deserve. That's what we're talking about tonight. So glad to see everybody here. And already we're getting lots of questions. So I want to get to that topic tonight. Before we do that, welcome everyone here on YouTube on this live and on Instagram as people come in. Nice to see you all here on a Friday night live. I love to see people here and questions. This is great, but we're going to get to an interesting topic tonight that is part of it all for you if you do not have the commitment you want from the man you desire. You can have it if you get in the right mindset, you use my mechanics of men, and you manifest what it is you desire above all. And in tonight's live, we are going into that part of it. You know, if you know me here, that I work under 3 pillars, one of which is the manifestation, if you want to think of it as the metaphysical part of it, which is a big part of it because, again, it's the 3 pillars that bring everything together. It is the triangle, and one point is no more important than another. And my 3 pillars, you must have the right mindset, which includes your self concept. And manifestation is a great way, an enjoyable way to get to a better self concept, along with other things. And then my mechanics of men, which, you know, if you're here and people are asking questions already, that's one of the main pillars. But again, no one point of the triangle is any more important than the other. They're all equally important. I have my little doggy might make some because my man is not here tonight to kind of keep her occupied. So she might be coming on this live. I don't know. You never know. She'll just jump up and say hello. So we want to get to the transcendent part of it. I think you're really going to like this. If you don't know this already, it's a fascinating thing about frequency and verbalization, which we as women are all good with. So I want to bring that to you in a way that's really going to encapsulate this for you so you can make use of it, because that's why we're here. So if you don't know me and you're here for the first time seeing one of my videos, I'm glad you're here. I'm Coach Paula Grooms, a dating and relationship coach for women, licensed social worker, and author of the book, Why Won't He Commit? How a Man Decides to Make You the One. I help you find a Mr. Right, get an ex back, or grow an existing relationship with a man you truly desire so you create the relationship of your dreams and you level up to the complete commitment you totally deserve. I'm all about that. Complete commitment from the man, because that's what makes for the best relationships. So again, welcome YouTube. And if you're over on Instagram, you're seeing this, but I'm here on YouTube for the most part. And so everybody who's asking questions is over here on YouTube, and that is the best way. So hop on over to my YouTube channel, Coach Paula Grooms on YouTube, if you want to make sure to get your questions answered, because I'm reading all of the comments and questions here. So tonight, before we get to Q&A, we're going to go into the topic at hand. You can transcend the reality in which you are with your man if you do not have the commitment you desire from him. And again, it's what we're all about, because men are best when they are fully committed. You want to open up your mind to this if you have not already. For most of you, this isn't going to be anything maybe new in terms of a concept, but the specifics of it could be very, very new. And I'm going to start by introducing you, if you don't know him, to Billy Carson. He's an American author. He is the CEO of Forbidden Knowledge. He's a philosopher. He is into metaphysics and manifestation, and he gets a lot of his knowledge via his research into ancient civilizations. So he's fascinating, and I recommend following him if you're into this kind of thing. You get a lot. He's engaging, very bright, and he was on Lewis House, and he's talking about something here that we want to go into in a bigger way for you, if you have not already, in terms of the manifestation, because it's about what he's talking about right here, your brain. And if you're wondering about how manifesting and thinking of your man in a way that can help prompt him to actually react in a way, want that you want the same thing as you do, connect to you more, you actually have a hidden power that Billy Carson goes into here, and it's truly fascinating. And I took away from it that, if you've ever thought about someone and they show up in a text, or they call you, or it just comes to you, I think that this explains it in a very succinct way that I have never heard it explained before. And so I want you to take a listen to this, because it's an important part of it that I think you'll find fascinating. And it plays into more of what we're going to get into in terms of how you set about transcending your man's objections. And without ever having to say anything to him. And that is part of my mechanics of men, because if you're here, you don't want to be talking to him about the relationship. You want to know that you have it. You want to embody having it, and you want to have it with him so he feels safe to be in it. So let's take a listen to this from Billy Carson on Lewis House, and what I was mentioning to you.
Interesting is the Brain Institute just a couple of years ago discovered that the human brain connects to 11 dimensions.
That's crazy.
Consciously, we are connecting. So they also saw something incredible, that synapses, when they were watching these synapses, unexpectedly, they would vanish from the third dimension. They would go somewhere, and then they would reappear randomly. So they're now hypothesizing that the human mind is also quantum entangling with information, data, or something else in another place, and then reappearing here. So
It just gets deeper and deeper.
So what he's talking about there, which I really love, is that if you thought about him at any time, when he's talking about the synapses, they actually see them go away and then come back. This can help you be thinking, what I am thinking about, meaning whether it's positive or negative, actually can infuse him with thoughts that you would like him to have. Now, this may seem really woo-woo to you, but when you hear the rest of this, you're going to understand how frequency, and when we talk about affirming and what you avow, you are going to develop or make happen in your world. We talk a lot here about what you are saying to yourself, affirmations and via sleep meditations. But many people will poo-poo affirmations. And I find that to be unfortunate, because they are an important component of what you make happen in your 3D world. And Billy is going to talk about this. And he uses the research of Dr. Masura Emoto. And if you don't know this, it is the water experiment that you can do yourself and prove what he is talking about. It's absolutely fascinating, and it shows the power of words in our world in terms of frequency. So I want you to take a listen to this, because this will, if you don't know the experiment, well, really, I have to see. I have to remove this. They don't make it easy on this one. Here we go. Yes. So take a listen to this part. It's really wonderful. Oops.
Others, to ourselves.
You heard
Is
it, I
it
think.
act once in a while? Is it, is it obsession? Like, how important are thoughts, words, and actions and manifesting our dreams?
So what's important is understanding the power of the thoughts and the words, because when you really understand cymatic frequencies, which are the vibrations created by sound, through science, we've discovered that those cymatics, which have then consciousness piggybacked on them, have the ability to change reality. Dr. Masaru Emoto, the former scientist that created that water experiment, when he put water in jars and people would speak to the water, I love you, I hate you, and then you test it under a microscope, you see that I hate you didn't form into a nice crystal, but the I love you did form into a nice crystal. So it let us know that conscious thought and cymatics that come out of your throat, you literally have a double-edged sword in your mouth, like it says in the biblical text. You can alter realities. And so
if you don't know this, this is fascinating. So you can actually take 3 bowls of water and you can put them side by side. Now, I know that some of this, and you can research this, Dr. Masaru, Masura, I think, Masura Emoto, Emoto, and just the water experiment. And some are with rice and water, but they're side by side. So these bowls are in the same environment, exact same environment. One bowl, you talk loving thoughts to. I love you, you're beautiful water, whatever else you want to say that's very positive. You're happy, you're loved, you're whatever. The second one, you don't speak to. You just leave. The third one, you speak negatively to. You're awful, you're bad, I don't like you, whatever negative thing you want to say to it. And over a few days, you will see the changes in each bowl, and make no mistake, they're all in the same exact environment. The only thing that has changed is what you have spoken to the bowl. And what he's talking about there is crystals, pretty crystals form in the first bowl. The second bowl, there is not much that happens. It kind of just looks stagnant. And this is with the rice. I'm talking about the rice one, but you don't have to put the rice. And then the third one, it actually is black, and there's some growths in it that are black and ugly. This is simply from the words and the frequencies, and that's what Billy is talking about here. So let's continue, because it's really great stuff.
Visit and take tours to, they go, one day I might be able to go. Oh, I hope I can go. Man, I wish I could go. I don't have any money right now. I'm broke, but maybe one day I'll never be able to make it. They just canceled that reality from their future. They took that potential opportunity, that potential outcome, that superposition in quantum physics, and they collapsed it and they moved it out of the way. And yes, it will never happen if they keep that same mindset and they keep speaking those same words, because they've just collapsed it. They've talked to themselves. Their subconscious now believes what they said. their cells took in that vibration and that frequency, and they've celebrated to that negative frequency. That means this is never going to happen, and they've accepted it. So they're going to do everything within their power to keep you in that particular frame where that never occurs or never comes into your timeline. But when you begin to realize these mistakes of mistalking and talking bad about yourself and not understanding that you're speaking your existence into reality,
Wow.
then you change your speech. And when you change your speech, you instantly start creating new connections in the brain. Your DNA begins to rewrite itself, and your cells begin to celebrate on the right frequency. And now you begin to bring these things into your reality.
What are the
So this says it all, and I hope you really took that in. And if you need to, play it back, because it is so important. He's saying that the frequencies are actually just like the water changes, we change. And think about it. We as humans are 70% water. So if that bowl of nothing there's in that water can change in that positive or negative way, think of what positive or negative talk can do to your brain. This is significant in terms of you getting to a place where you know you can have this relationship and you can affect your man in a way with your thoughts. And I'm not saying that you only speak positive things to him. That's not what we're talking about. Not that it's any harm, but again, we have to add in the mystique of being female and then the mechanics of men, which we talk about here. But I want you to know the power. There's so much on this. And YouTube, here we are, is replete with so much on this. I recommend, as part of my work in coaching, I absolutely work with this manifestation mindset and the mechanics of men, which we talk about all the time. So I'm going to get to Q&A, and let's do that. See what we have here tonight, and I hope some are about this, because put comments. Do you agree with it, or can you open your mind to it? Can you be open to this? If you can, just type open in the comments, because I want to know if you feel you can actually do this and be open to what's going on for you, and be open to the fact that you can manifest your dream life, your dream love relationship, by actually metaphorically and tangibly speaking it into existence. I hope so. Okay, let's see what questions. I'll open it up for Q&A tonight. Thank you for allowing me to share that with you. And I know it's a bit clunky because I have to learn to do these different things, but I'm doing it, and you're here with me, and you're on the journey with me, and I really appreciate that. Looks like certainly Instagram may have stopped out, but YouTube has not. So that's why I say come on over to YouTube. All right. XOXO part 1. Hello, Coach Paula. Here is the sex question I wanted to ask a few times ago. I think there will be other women who can relate, so I hope others can help. This can help others too. I am unable to climax with my boyfriend. I can and have been doing it alone with a toy and X videos, but I have never with sex. It hurts him and takes away from our love. Okay, there is an inherent question in there, and I'm wondering if you have sought other help about this rather than just coming here and being unalive. I know you want to know my opinion, and I appreciate that, but I'm wondering if you have looked deeper into this. And a big question, of course, is, have you ever, with any other man, had the ability to climax in sex, intercourse, in any way with him? And you did not make the determination about, or delineation, I should say, whether it's through intercourse or oral sex, etc. So answer that for me, and I will get to that question. And here's the thing that we're going to take away from tonight about it. You need to open up your subconscious mind to it and the fact that you are able to. In other words, we need to speak it into existence, not that you're going to, but that you do. And yes, it's something with a sexual relationship you're asking, it hurts him and takes away from our love. Yeah, because this is what a man feels he gives a woman. And if he's not able to give it to you in oral sex, and he's not able to give it to you in intercourse, he is going to feel less than, and it is going to hurt him. And there is a lot more to this for you, because you're telling me it's not a physical issue, and you know it's not, because you can on your own. So this needs to be addressed on a deeper level, because it's nothing to do with the physical. So you say, no, I haven't looked into it because I'm not sure where even to look. And no, I have never with any other man. Okay, so it's telling me that you have a control issue around it, because it's incredibly vulnerable. And there is something in your subconscious mind perhaps holding you back, a belief, a control, and you're going to need to uncover it. And you do not ultimately feel safe enough to be that vulnerable. And you're going to have to discover what that is for you. And you want to do that knowing that you're going to change it, and make up your mind that you're going to change it. Because what can happen, not so much now, but I think certainly it has been, where there's been stuff out there that, well, every woman goes through that. That's very normal. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. And poo-poos it. And I'm not a believer in that. I believe that it is inherent in every male to want to please a woman in that way, and to not have the full experience of sex in that way is keeping something from you and from him. And it's not something that you will want to not. I love that you were addressing it and you're thinking about it. There is a lot of help now for it, and you can research it. I am not a sex therapist. You can research it. It sounds like you say you have love, and he does too. There are sex therapists even. But I think this is something, if I could give you a bit of advice, that you need to address first on your own. Because it is going to come into your sex life, and he's going to have question about it, and it's going to make him feel less than. And it's not something really that's him, because every woman, we must take control of, agency of our own orgasms. Meaning, it is a part of sex that you want to have. You want to be free to have it, and you want to delve into the why specifically for you, it's unique to you, but don't let sometimes well-meaning stuff out there that says, oh, certain percentage of women don't during intercourse or what have you. That's just filling your mind again with stuff that's okay to not have. No, let's get you having exactly what it is that you want, and you can, and you're going to speak it into existence that you are tackling this. I appreciate the question. I'm glad you did. You're aware of it now, that not a physical issue, but you can't with a man, so it's not him. It is something deeper that you're going to need to uncover, and you tell yourself, I'm uncovering it. I'm taking this on, and this is being tackled, and this is being taken care of. It's happening. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have the full experience of sex and love and make myself and my partner so happy and satisfied. I hope that helps. Let's see. Megan, thank you. Megan says, I just discovered you and I've already learned a lot. Yay! Excellent. Wonderful. All right. I have a question. At what point does a woman just walk away? I'm currently in a situationship and I just don't know if I am wasting my time or if I should continue just doing my own thing. All right. Well, I'm glad you found me, Megan, because I have enormous amounts of content, both here, but mostly on my podcast, Make Him Wonder, which is real life coaching conversations with women in all manner of different relationship situations. Situationships is one of the categories I have in the 80/20 Wonder Club, where you hear full length coaching conversations of women who are in situationships and what we do to take them to relationship. You didn't say what you want, but I'm going to guess from your question that you want this to be a real relationship and not a situationship. This can be changed. It's what I do with women. I take them from situationship to what needs to happen for the man to see it as a relationship and for him to get to the point. And for you to know that you've done everything possible in terms of the mechanics of men, mindset, your self-concept, and manifesting that allows for it to happen. And if after that he does not, then you know. But until you do all this, you will be left with questions. And if you really want him, and you want to take this to a real relationship, the possibilities are great that you can. I have not seen it in my coaching whereby it's not been a possibility. But if left unattended for a long time, it will continue to be the same way it is. And it's a combination of changing within. He sees that change, feels that change, and we see his readiness, willingness, and capability. There are steps to this. Because most, and I don't know you, but most women want to either completely ignore the elephant in the room, which it's a situationship, it's a friends with benefits, whatever, or they, and it's not ignored because it is the elephant in the room. He knows it, you know it, and you're doing it. And mostly it's starting to wane on you, like wear on you. If you want more, you're going to, just what we talked about with the brain here, you're going to be transmuting that to him. He's going to know it. And then what he does is he slowly checks out and thinks less of you because he knows you're accepting less than what you want. This is my worthy opponent approach. It's a principle. I hope that makes sense. Jay says, same, Megan. Yes. Jay says he has not reached out since Monday. Okay. You have to get busy avowing, living in the knowing that you can have this, Jay, and get busy on you. Like I say, focus on you and he will too. You got to speak those words to yourself, those loving words to yourself. Carrie, how do women become more mysterious when life is a bit boring and finances are tight? It's not, excuse me, about it's not about the big things typically. If you have someone in your life, Carrie, and I don't know if you do, there's a lot that you can do without to make yourself. Let's backtrack a minute. If you're thinking, how do I make myself mysterious? It's not making yourself mysterious. It's making him wonder. How do you make a man wonder? Very, very simple ways that may seem like nothing, but you just do things like you do not always answer him in text every single time. He always knows what he's going to get. You vary it up. You wait. You change up something that you wouldn't. You never use emojis. You start using emoji. You always comment by asking a question back to him. This is a big one, ladies. Don't ask questions in text. It makes him wonder. Turn whatever you were going to say in a question or ask into a statement. It's very simple. Think of the example. He says, hey, babe, how are you? You take an hour when you normally answer back right away. And you say, hey, babe, busy doing XYZ. Don't ask him, how are you doing? You say, hope you're having a great Friday. And you send a kissy face. That little difference just makes him wonder a little bit. That's what I'm talking about. Wonder is very subtle, simple, not always readily available. Megan, I don't know what you answered the yes to. It has been before. We dated last year for under a year. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments here. Lots of them, so I'm just kind of congrats on the growth of your channel. Well, thank you, but we're trying a lot more, so please, I ask, in return for these lives, if you get value from them, to share them far and wide, to subscribe, and to hit the red alert bell, but comment as well. A like goes a long way to help the channel grow and get more women to know about us and our little tribe here. It's wonderful. Carrie, yes, I do, and he is busy. Not sure about that either. All right, let's see. Be vague, don't tell him all the details. Yes, thank you. Mimi says, I love this. Very similar to Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, how our thoughts create our reality. Our personality creates our personal reality. Want a new life, create a new personality. Yes, easier said than done. This, I want the takeaway here is that you speak what you want into existence and you think it into existence. This is just an extremely small part of the manifestation work I do under the law of affirmation. The law of assumption. We must live in the knowing, assuming our desire to be what is ordained in the moment, what is destined. It is coming to pass. If you know me at all and have worked with me, you know I recommend there is a YouTuber here, Naya, and she's a manifester in using partly the Neville Goddard approach, but she also uses some mysticism, things like that. But the Neville Goddard approach allows you to speak things into existence using the law of assumption. And she has a 16-minute loop that I love that she compiled from the works of Florence Scovel Shinn. And the 60-minute loop, which is an affirmation, a long one, it's very metaphysical, a little bit woo-woo, but it really opens you up to knowing that you're changing right now. And it starts with, the tides of destiny have turned, and everything now comes my way. The seemingly impossible can now come to pass. The unexpected now happens. Even if you just learn those first two lines and you start saying them, they just open you up to the possibilities of a new reality. Watch this with Billy Carson and Lewis Howes. It's just been in the past week here, I think. And he talks about saying 9 affirmations out loud 6 times a day. If you don't know the affirmations that you want, start with the alphabet because something will come to you. For example, A, I am the architect of my love life. I am arranging my life the way I want it to be. You see, I'm just thinking off the top of my head. B, I am becoming all that I need to be to have all that I desire. C, I create the love that I desire and deserve. I am creating my beautiful, committed relationship. D, I am destined to get all that I desire with, and put his name. E, everything comes my way. F, I have my forever love with his name. You see, you can just keep doing this. The act of doing it keeps you in the mind space of creating your reality with him. Many would say, wishful thinking, no. We just saw it has the power to change the water, right? It's just water in a bowl. Think of what those words can do for you if you truly embody them, embrace them, practice them. Doesn't do any good to take information here and then not follow through. This is why I work in programs, so that women can be working with me weekly as the reminder. The famous saying, we don't need more information, we need more reminding. Certainly, yes, there's some stuff here like for Megan. You're talking about your situationship. We dated last year for just under a year. Okay, but now you say you dated last year, now you're in a situationship. So it's gone backwards a little bit. You can move this forward. It's simple, but it's not easy. And it takes mindfulness. It takes actually a path. After I laid out for you, you walk down it knowing I either am ready to do this, I can do it, I am doing it. You execute it, and then you see where you get. Because you fundamentally, if you're in a situationship, you have to break the pattern. You have to do it with poise, grace, and knowing that you're going to get what you want with him. Here's the thing. If you don't change it and you continue doing what you're doing, you will just get more of that. And that will just show him that you don't value yourself, because energetically, he knows that you are accepting less than you want. Worthy opponents don't accept less than they want. And it's not opponent in that you're challenging or fighting. It is the worthy opponent of whatever a man does, he likes to play at his level. If it's in work, he likes everybody to be at his level, so it's challenging. Sports, hobbies, whatever it is, and with his relationship as well. I'm here. I like to play here. It's no fun to play somebody down here who doesn't think of themselves in a way I think of myself. I'll do it, but it's not enticing. It doesn't inspire me as the man. That's why I use Steph Curry and LeBron James. They want to play other NBA guys because they're at their level. If they do play guys that are not, they'll win, but it doesn't mean very much to them. It's not inspiring. So when we show the man what we think of ourselves as up here, he will generally rise to it because he wants to think of himself up here. But you can't just make a switch and that happens. Things have to make sense in terms of change. And here's what we know. And you can take this to the bank. And I have used this, and it's truer than anything. With a man, if you are staying, no matter what you are saying, you are okaying the relationship however it is. That's it. So we can't okay it by staying. Jay, when you say get busy on you, I should almost forget about him and focus on my life, stop even worrying about him. Well, we don't want you worrying about him. That's for sure. You want him wondering right now, and I hope that he is. I would like you, because I know this situation, to just send, because it's been since Monday, I want you to send one text tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. And it's just, hey there, thinking of you. Happy weekend. Hope you have some fun plans. Because knowing your situation, this is something that's not typical for you. We want him wondering. We want him seeing you as that worthy opponent. We want him seeing you lighthearted, because it's been very serious. Does that make sense? You deleted his number. That means you were so anxious that you've deleted his number and there's no way to get it back? Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. But you're showing, right, that you need a lot of regulation. And I know you're working on that. And that's a good thing. But you see, you're here, although you deleted his number, you're here and you're asking. So maybe it's social media that you contact him. And just say that. And then hopefully he'll start texting or call you, and then you'll have his number, because I know he calls you. Can you say that one more time? Staying is okaying. If you are staying, no matter what you are saying, you are okaying however he's playing it. That's it. Men do not relate via verbalization. Men relate via action. So it's very important that you get that and you start taking action rather than saying anything. So what I meant, Megan, is that if you know you don't want this situationship anymore, and I don't want to just give you this ad hoc advice and not be talking to you about it, because this is not something that you want to mess with. Because if you have messed with it before and it's gotten messy, breakups, trauma, talking to him about it, you know what I mean. You've been in it a year more. There's been that stuff. This needs to be different. It needs to be a strategic approach that we know works. And I can tell you that when I talk to someone for the first time and I get the details, I'm always very honest with what I think are the possibilities. Typically, if he's seeing you and he's been doing that for that amount of time, there is something that he truly likes and wants. And typically there's something more than just the sex. Now, it doesn't mean that it can't be off the hook and wonderful, but there's probably something else too. But the sex has taken over everything else and overridden everything else. I get that. But we have to show that you have control. This makes him feel safe. And we have to fundamentally make these changes in a way that does not impugn him for being a bad guy and continuing on, not talking to him about it, because if you already have, he knows. I help you outline it in exactly what you say and do, so we start it rolling down a new path. And this is unique in some ways to each woman, although it follows an outline for sure. Well, sometimes I wonder I am staying and okaying. That's for your case. That's not the case. That's your programming. Thinking negative. You just have to get into what we talked about here tonight. For you, Opal, knowing your situation, if you get into doing manifestation and mindset work and not go into the minutiae the here and now, the allowing for your programming to kick in, you've got this. How do you know if he is 1,000% not interested? You don't. There's nothing indicating, Jay. But your programming is such that how could he be interested in me? And that's something we need to change around, a la what I outlined for you tonight. It's just a little part of it. Megan, I know exactly what you mean. And yes, completely different approach. Honestly, we haven't been sleeping together. We've only slept together twice since we broke up last August. Okay, but what are you showing him now? What does he perceive it to be? And this is what we need to work on. I don't know any of the particulars of it. It would need to be something whereby, here's the deal, Megan. And for anybody listening, you want a full coaching conversation with me, you can come on the podcast, Make Him Wonder. Anonymously, we discuss it in full. I give you the full outline, etc. You can do that. That's free. You just write to Michelle at coachpaulagrooms.com and say, I'm interested in being a guest. Can you send me information? Great. And if you haven't, just go on the playlist here, the Make and Wonder podcast. And you can find it on Spotify or wherever you listen to. But you can see here, you'll see it. And then, of course, all of over 200 episodes of full coaching conversations and a full category of situationships and how women get out of them and into what they want is in the 80/20 Wonder Club. The 80/20 Wonder.club. And if you join the 80/20 Wonder Club, whether monthly, it's the amount of a latte, or you level up to a 6-month or 12-month membership that saves you some money, you can be talking to me here on lives. If you haven't heard them, you can listen to different lives here that have anonymous guests calling in and talking to me here. Now, it's not like the podcast in that, we give an hour and a half, however long needed to go through a full situation and resolution. But you can ask a question. I get to know you. It's how I know some folks here and can tell them more about their particular situation because I can get to know you that way. So that's THE8020Wonder.club. And you can start right away and we can talk anytime you want. Or you can have an individual private recorded conversation with me that only you get to listen back to, take the coaching, and if needed, we can work from there. At Mimi, my plan would be to say, have a good time. Thoughts? Don't know what Trista's asking. So I'm glad we got some questions answered tonight. I hope this was informative to you to start knowing that you can change your man's commitment objections. You absolutely can, no matter whether it's situationship, full-blown relationship, friends with benefits, but you have to understand the man's psychology, view of it, and how to show him what he needs to be shown so that two things happen. He feels safe in the relationship. And remember, safety has two categories under it. He must feel safe that you are in the Madonna of Freud's Madonna whore dichotomy. He must feel safe from any drama that he didn't create, he doesn't know how to handle. He just wants to have a relationship. He doesn't want to talk about the relationship. He needs to feel safe in it, that it works. And then the other category over here, that he fundamentally makes you happy. And if you're in a relationship, situationship, friends with benefits, whatever it is, whereby you're not happy and he knows it, not going to work very well. Just not. And that can be turned around because you being happy makes him feel safe. You being happy. The category is happiness. He knows he makes you happy. If that is off by you doing something whereby, yes, you want him and you think, well, getting this situationship is better than nothing, that is the energy and then what you're going to get from that energy. Unfortunately, it doesn't work very well. And it's not just going to morph into a relationship without you not doing the work on it. Can someone tell me how to make an anonymous name? Oh, on YouTube? That's a good question. I don't know how to do that. But I know some people here have done it. And this way you can ask anonymously. But I hope, Megan, to help you through this situationship, you will write to Michelle at coachpaulagrooms.com, MICHELLE. The information is below. Say, how do I apply to be a guest? We can be talking for free. You will be doing that anonymously. And we can get you set up. I don't remember, Paula, can casually sex turn into something more serious post-breakup? Well, Kara, I know that we have talked about this, and if that's what you are doing now, that's something we can talk about because I know the particulars of your situation. And there are mitigating circumstances there that if you have morphed into doing that, this has become a little more complicated than what I can give you here. I think you know what I mean. Because there's just more at stake. And if you are accepting that casual sex again, you're going in a vicious circle. And this is more about not being the worthy opponent next to him and accepting less than you deserve because of being anxiously attached to him and just needing his presence no matter the crumbs that you get. Does that make sense? And the work here needs to be the mindset focus, knowing that you can have, as I have always told you, Kara, if you do this the right way, you can have him the way you want him. But you have to focus on you. Thanks, Paula. Yeah, you're right. Time to get busy. There's nothing more important in your life than this. And many times we think that relationships are not something that we need to spend any real money on, focus on in a way that is more towards reparative. It's funny that it's the most, I would say, it's an extremely important part of a woman's life. There is kind of in our lexicon that if a man has trouble at work, he cannot focus on a relationship. If a woman has trouble in her relationships, she cannot focus on work. And we can think of work as career, advancement. You see the difference with the sexes. And I think this is extremely true. Women, as I put in my book, we are love in the world. We are the connectors. We are the cooperators. We are the caretakers of the world. We bring forth love. Literally, that baby coming out of us into the world. This is uniquely female. We are about relationships in a way that men are not. It's extremely important for our mental, physical, and financial well-being to have good, healthy relationships, love relationships that are fulfilling, that give us a foundation of feeling safe and happy. Without that, we can falter in the rest of our life. Now, doesn't mean that we won't succeed financially or in the work world, but most generally speaking, and again, I'm saying this on average, and every woman here likely, this is the most important thing in your life. You get this handled, you got it. The rest is, yeah, life's always going to be hard here and there. But you get a committed, wonderful relationship that you want, there's no stopping you in other ways. And if you want to have children, this is there's nothing more important in your life. But yet, you fool around with stuff that doesn't work. Your mind is continually on it. I mean, always on it, but yet you're not doing anything to fix it. Therapy doesn't necessarily fix it because therapy is a different approach to it. Therapy at its core is, and this is interesting, Freud said, the goal of therapy is to take abject misery and turn it into basic human suffering. But therapy at its core is to give you a reparative experience with another human. But that human is generally supporting you in how you feel, not helping you get what you want and changing fundamentally, like I'm talking about here, your programming and your reality. It's important that you find someone who will do that with you, not just support you in talking about your feelings and venting your feelings. Women, generally speaking, more than men, will tend to ruminate and regurgitate all the time what is not working, what needs to change, and they need very directed help in actually making changes that are going to make them happy. If you are not doing something different and actually focusing on this part of your life, if it's not what you want, you are hurting yourself. No new pair of shoes. No, I don't know, weekend away, party, clothing is gonna fix this. It's you foundationally feeling loved for who you are and getting the love you want. Not just any guy, the one you want. You can do that with the right modalities. Generally speaking, because if the guy is with you in some way, like I said, there is that kernel that we can work with and foster. But the way you've been doing it, if it's not working, you've got to change course. Do something different. I'm passionate about it because I can help. And I've done it with so many women. But generally, they opt out of, because I'm going to just keep with what's out there. Even though I know it's the truth, it's hard. Or I want to put my money somewhere else. What's more important than this? Nothing. Nothing for your life is more important than you getting the guy that you want and taking it to the relationship you want, if that's especially children. Don't take the chance of years going by and not changing something. It's not working. You have to change course. There is more than hope here, Megan. I know it because I live it with women. And there's nothing more fulfilling than my helping a woman who's open to this work, and to the path, when she's actually on it and seeing the results and getting it. And the marriages I've helped get, and then the kids that came from those marriages. Because, like I said, if he's with you, there's some amount of something there for you. If you're having trouble with it, if it's not the relationship you want, it's you that needs to make the change, and we see how he reacts to it. We cannot let, that old saying, the clown run the circus. If we leave it up to the man, it's kind of tantamount to that. Kind of like I say, mechanics of men. If we have a car together, he doesn't have us do the mechanics of the car. That would be like the clown running the circus in the car. No. Make sure you start to take action. It's already past April 1st. We are in the second quarter of this year. Do not waste another year. Get busy minimally. Get in the club. Hear my approach with getting an ex back, situationship, friends with benefits, older women, younger men, dating divorced. Make sure, because if it rings true to you, then we can make it happen for you. I hope you will. And start. There's so much here at your fingertips. Never before has there been so much information, but you need to take it to transformation. I can let the clown run the circus. Yes. He's not meaning to be it. He's just being a normal guy. Just like you don't know about the car. You just like it to look pretty. Wash it. Get in it. Feels good, the seat. Everything works. You turn the key and it goes. And all you do is put gas in it. You don't want to know how it works. You don't know how it works. You don't care really how it works. You don't talk about it. You don't want to have to take it to therapy weekly for it to work. You just want it to work. If you had a car together, he wouldn't let you be the mechanic of it. He would be the mechanic of it, because letting you be the mechanic of the real car is letting the clown run the circus. Well, we do that with men. But instead of knowing how to do it, we actually say, okay, I'm not going to let the clown run the circus. I'm going to tell him how to be. I'm going to convince him he needs to be this way. Doesn't work. Men relate via action, not verbalization. Well, you have to learn how to do that because we're not taught it. Mostly we're not mentored in the right way to do it. A lot of us grew up under a mother talking to a man, or divorce. We're not modeled great love relationships typically. And certainly everything in our Hollywood romance novels, TV, it's all wrong because it sells. It's not about fostering good stuff and the way it works best. So do something different. Certainly, take away today those affirmations I gave you. Start working on it and saying, I'm doing something. Trista, any advice on how to handle it when we meet a man and he is dating multiple women? Yeah, again, that depends. I can't really say. First of all, I say, how do you know? And what's going on that you know? And if you do, and he knows that you certainly don't have sex with him, or what are you showing him? Anything we should say or do? That's for a longer, deeper conversation about how you show your value, worth and value, and it's timing. It's timing, and you have to know if there's any real interest and how much interest you have in doing the hard stuff, whereby you're going to have to direct him. And that's a bit nuanced. A la, you've gone out 3 or 4 times. You're not necessarily going to know. When it gets to sex and he wants to have sex, that's when you show, I really like you. And I'm interested in continuing this, but I have to be honest. I'm a gal who likes exclusivity. And I don't get into any sexual relationships with someone before being exclusive and wanting to be exclusive and monogamous and seeing if there's anything there. And you have to see his reaction. If you don't have the cojones, pardon the pun, to do that, he's going to take advantage of you. And you're going to show him that not worthy opponent. Not going to work for you because you already now put yourself one down. I'm willing to do that for you without any kind of reciprocity in terms of what a male can give. That puts you in less than Madonna category in Freud's Madonna whore dichotomy. If you don't set it up beforehand. And if he says, well, I'm really not ready. And you say, completely understand. I just have to tell you my truth. Yeah. And then you don't. He'll go away. He'll think about it. Because right then and there, he might not. He's going to go away and think about it. If he comes back, he will be saying, and he will go down that road. If he doesn't, there wasn't enough interest in you. And if you'd had sex with him, It's not going to get more in terms of interest. He has the most interest in you before sex. You have more interest in him after sex. Yin and yang, sun and rain, night and day, on or off, stop or go, male or female. Don't do it. So, we said a lot tonight. We started out with, what are you going to be telling yourself? How are you going to change your mind? How are you going to get on the right path to doing what is right to get your Mr. Right? You got to commit to that. If you understand the truth of it, you've got to commit to it. You can't expect his concurrent commitment to you when you're not committed to doing what works with men. It's that simple. There are some women who, because of their great upbringing with good role modeling and very good programming, that they are totally lovable and worthy and valued. There are a few, and they can walk down an easy path of this. 99% of us, not the case. Do not think, I'm less than. I must be really messed up to have this happen. I have some kind of inherent issue that it's never going to work for me. No, if he's with you, there's part of him, he wants who you are, but there's needs to be this change that I'm talking about that will give him more of a run for his money in a way that he can see it, take it in, interpret it. But when you are just talking about it, all that does is turn him off, turn him away from you. Men relate via action, not verbalization. I can't say it enough. It's a gender gap in my book. There are only 5. If you get those 5, you change your life. You got to work the steps. So full of peace. I don't understand your questions. Sorry. But I'm glad you're here because you say I can let the clown run the circus. Well, no more. No more. You're going to stay here and you're not going to let the clown run the circus. You're going to say, I am the architect of my love relationship. I'm the architect of my life. I'm becoming who I need to be. I am creating all that I want in my life. I am the creator of my life and reality. I believe in myself and what I want to see, so I am starting to see it in my reality. Write them down. Start avowing them. Start doing the work. If you need more, please connect with me so I can help you. And there are all manner of ways from the simplest, the free, being on the podcast, the very less than a latte a month, being in the 80/20 Wonder Club, to my One Love self-help course. If you're online dating, you can talk to me because with that course, you get a full coaching experience with me, all the way to talking to me in a consult and seeing if a program is right for you, or just using that consult to jumpstart what you need to do and have a plan. Any of those ways, just reach out to Michelle at CoachPauletGrooms.com or go to my website. You can connect with me there, or DM me here if you need. But do something. Don't keep doing the same thing, getting the same results, because this is so important in your life. As a woman, there is nothing more important than you getting your love life handled. When you do that, you level up everything in your life and you get what you really want. If that is marriage and children, that isn't just going to materialize these days. It's not part of our society. It has to be mechanicked. Then there is nothing wrong with that. Men need that more than ever now. More than ever. And you can do it. I'm grateful for you all here. I'm so happy you've been here with me tonight. A great Friday night. I love seeing you all. I'm so thrilled that you're all here. I thank you for subscribing and sharing this out for other women. I want every woman to have a wonderful love relationship. I can tell you it makes all the difference in your life. You can have it. I know you can. Trust that. Start working in a way that's going to get you that, and everything will change in your life. So thank you again. Please like this if you do. Subscribe, share, and I will see you in the next video. I'm here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights at 9 for lives. Thank you again, and see you then. Bye.